April 27, 2006, Ashley Reeves was strangled, dragged into the woods and left for dead. To her loved ones, she had simply vanished into thin air, leaving behind a trail of confusion and heartbreak. As the investigators delved deeper into the case, they uncovered a web of secrets. Friends became suspects, and the truth became more elusive than ever. What really happened to Ashley that fateful night is a harrowing tale that will leave you in shock, casting shadows of doubt even upon the bonds of friendship and revealing the depths of wickedness that human beings are capable of. Before leaving the house on 27th of April 2006, Ashley told her parents that she had a job interview in Fairview Heights, after which she would be going to play basketball with some of her friends. The 17-year-old was a promising basketball player who also did very well in school. She lived in Illinois with her parents and younger sister Casey, and also had a boyfriend named Jeremy, who her parents were fond of. At 3:30 p.m., Ashley packed up a change of clothes, got into her boyfriend's car, which she had borrowed for the day, and drove off, after promising her mother she'd return before 10 p.m., her curfew time. Little did she know that she was about to face an unbelievable experience, one that would change her life forever. At 10:30 p.m., curfew had already passed, but Ashley was still nowhere to be found, and neither her mother nor younger sister received any form of communication from her throughout the day. After numerous unanswered calls and texts, also after contacting some close friends who hadn't heard from Ashley either, her mum grew worried and trusted her instincts that something had gone terribly wrong. She then contacted the police and reported her daughter missing. Typically, law enforcement would wait for 24 hours before initiating an investigation into a missing persons case, due to past instances where reports of missing individuals often involved rebellious kids who had left home intentionally. However, the officer who received the call observed a high level of distress in Ashley's parents' voices. This prompted the police to act quickly, and not long after the investigation began, they found Jeremy's car abandoned 15 minutes away from Ashley's home. Inside the car, they found the bag containing the basketball clothes which she packed, and without any sign of Ashley, they quickly realized that this wasn't the case of a rebellious teenager. The police brought Ashley's boyfriend in for questioning after learning that he and Ashley had gotten into a fight prior to her leaving for the interview. But Jeremy maintained that the last time he saw Ashley was when he gave her his car. However, he also mentioned one particular guy named Samson who had been in constant communication with Ashley before her disappearance. Ashley's mom confirmed Jeremy's statement because she had contacted the phone company after her daughter went missing to get their home's phone record, detailing all incoming and outgoing calls. The records showed lots of incoming calls from a particular number belonging to Samson Shelton. Also, Jeremy seemed like a genuine guy who really loved his girlfriend, so the police had to let him go. Nicknamed The Teacher, 26-year-old Samson was a high school gym coach and pro wrestler on the side. Some of his high school female students referred to him as the cute teacher, which was strange to a lot of people, including the police, who had just learned the information. The following day, 28th of April, about 8 hours after Ashley's disappearance, detectives went to the high school where Samson worked and brought him in for questioning. At first, Samson was calm and cooperative. He told the police that he didn't know anyone named Ashley. However, Ashley wasn't one to hide information from her friends, who quickly stated otherwise. They even described the relationship between Samson and Ashley as a romantic one. Samson would later admit that he and Ashley were strictly platonic friends who played basketball together. The police were not buying whatever fuckery Samson was selling, so they detained him for further questioning. Soon after, Samson changed his story again. He told the police that Ashley had become obsessed with him, calling him day and night. He also said he tried his best to avoid her, but she wouldn't leave him alone. But the police had already seen the call records. They knew that Samson did more of the calling, so this was confirmation that he was hiding something. When he sensed that detectives weren't buying into his lies, he then changed his story again. He revealed that he was with Ashley on the 27th, the the day of her disappearance, and that they had gotten into an argument which frustrated him, so he parked, pulled her out of his car, and drove off. Sampson maintained that Ashley was alive and well when he last saw her. However, the police now considered him the number one suspect, owing to the fact that his story had changed so many times. At the time, Sampson stayed with his mom and grandmother. It was only when investigators brought up the disappointment his actions would bring to his grandmother that he finally broke down in tears and began to talk. He then began to describe in detail what he had done to Ashley and where he had buried her remains under a pile of leaves. According to Sampson's recorded confession, his actions went beyond just removing Ashley from his vehicle and abandoning her on the roadside after Ashley told him that she wanted to go back to being platonic friends and that they shouldn't have gotten intimate in the first place. He couldn't handle the rejection, so he stopped his car in the middle of nowhere and asked Ashley to get out, but she refused. An argument ensued. The part-time professional wrestler admitted to grabbing Ashley by the neck in a chokehold position to forcibly pull her out of his car. Upon hearing a pop sound, followed by Ashley losing consciousness, he became aware that he had mistakenly broken her neck. Realizing that Ashley was still alive, he panicked and dragged her limp body into the woods. He then took off his belt, wrapped it around her neck, and pulled it as hard as he could until the belt snapped. In a final confirmation, Sampson resorted to choking Ashley for a third time using his hands. After this final attempt, he covered her with some pile of leaves and left her in the cold. After this confession, now about 30 hours after the attack, he agreed to take detectives to the burial spot in Citizens Park, just 15 minutes away from Ashley's home. But before then, more concerned about his time in jail, he asked the police this question.
I will get like a little private toilet because I can't pee when there's people around, because I'll be miserable if I can't pee.
It was a really dark and rainy night, and Sampson seemed to have had troubles locating the exact spot where he left Ashley. The police suspected that he had brought them on a wild goose chase, and just as they were about to abandon the search and exit the woods, an officer's flashlight spotted a heap of leaves, and underneath, they found Ashley, severely injured, with insect bite marks all over her body. When officers knelt down to further inspect the body, they made a shocking discovery after an officer noticed very slight movements around Ashley's chest region. Officers couldn't believe that she was still alive, after lying unconscious in the freezing cold for 30 long hours. An ambulance was called. About an hour later, she was rushed to the hospital. As she was desperately hanging on to life, the overwhelming feeling that they could lose her any minute intensified. Ashley's mum was terrified. Even doctors didn't think she would make it through the night, but against all odds, she survived and went on to make a full recovery in the weeks that followed. The police soon found this footage that showed Sampson dancing at a local country bar just minutes after he left Ashley in the woods. In his 2007 court trial, more evidence revealed text messages to other teenagers. He was sentenced to 20 years in prison for attempted first-degree murder. After watching the investigation tapes, Ashley continues to struggle with the idea that someone she trusted as a genuine friend could commit such heinous actions against her. What adds to the bewilderment is how anyone could engage in any celebratory activity just minutes after perpetrating such a horrendous act upon another individual. Ashley got so much support from her family and friends, which went on to play a crucial role in her recovery. Presently, she is happily married and the mother of 2 wonderful children, and while she may never play basketball again, she hopes her story serves as a profound source of inspiration for those enduring their own moments of despair. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, and feel free to share your thoughts in the comments below. I'll see you in the next one.